This is how much it costs to charter a 50-foot yacht in Greece for the week, including a crew with a chef who cooks all meals. And it's less than you'd think. So boat charters have a core weekly rental cost that varies on seasonality, so holidays and peak season or more. Then there is tax or VAT on that in Europe. Then there's what's called an APA escrow. That's roughly 30% of that weekly cost for all your expenses, so your fuel, your transit, alcohol, food, docking fees, and you get back what you don't use from that. And then finally, you tip the crew 10 to 15% of that core weekly fee. So that cost for the charter with us with tax for 7 islands and 7 days in Greece was $18,200. If we were not in peak season, it would have been closer to $13,000. This is for a 50-foot out of Athens. Now there are bigger and smaller yachts at different prices, but 50 to 55 feet is a really popular size. Now remember, this is a split and there are 6 cabins. You could fit 8 adults and 2 kids or a combination in there. I would recommend doing this with at least one other family or a couple, if not 2 to 3. The last time I did something like this, we had 4 families on a slightly bigger boat. Because if you have multiple, then all of a sudden it's 6 to 10K for the week, which is basically the high end of Disney at this point. So on top of that was our escrow, which was $5,600, of which we will spend about half because we ate pretty light, only got like 3 bottles of wine for the trip. We did have docking costs because we'd like to dock in towns and hang out overnight, walk around, and all those costs get tracked in a portal so you can see it live. And so all in, with tip, what we spent on this trip is about 23K, split between those of us on, which while not cheap is obviously not crazy. When Disney for a family averages 7,500, a week on a European cruise is averages 7K, and we're on our own boat, it's sick and we can do what we want. So then how do you find these? We booked ours with Epic Yacht Charters. I have no affiliation. We chose them because one of my good friends used to own a boat and he chartered it with them. And they were great. We could see all the catamaran options they had and their base costs on the website. I would highly recommend picking a company someone you know has used, or at least someone online has used, so there is some degree of connection. And the company will have options for you based on your budget and your timing. And timing is important because these do book out. The boat that we were on is actually booked until October, every single week. We booked this in December of last year, so this definitely needs some planning. And you see me travel a lot, but we book everything way ahead of time. I have a little ChatGPT codex flow that like hunts for business class prices to fly, and I will jump on those deals. Now for some people, a charter at 23K plus flights, even split by 2 or 3, is a ton of money, but it was way cheaper than I thought. And remember, I'm a successful adult who has made a good living as a head of product, head of marketing, plus an internet following. And one of the luxuries we choose to spend money on is travel. The other is living in California. And the cost of this for a once in a lifetime journey for the family, for me, was reasonable. Drop any questions below and I will recap the trip and some of the choices we did in the status symbol newsletter with links to my profile.